Okay, here's my video for our Chapter 5 review, focusing on problem 5C, and we're finding this length BC. And we see that it is a non-right triangle, which tells me that we're either going to be using law of sines or law of cosines. And seeing that I have an angle between two sides, I know it's going to be law of cosines. So let's start with the equation for law of cosines, which is a squared, screwing up already. C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b times the cosine of, I'm even going to use the angle sign because it's in here, angle C. Now I'm just going to plug in, but first let's label our sides, okay? The side across from our angle is always going to be our side length C, our little c. So I see my 17 is right here. Well, that means BC is my side C, which is good because that's what we're trying to find. And then I get to choose out of the last two which one I want to be A and which one I want to be B. I'm going to make 9, if I can click on it. I'm going to make 9 my A. I'm going to make 14 my B. And doing so, I can start plugging in. C squared is going to stay C squared because that's what we're looking for. So I get C squared equals A squared, which is 9 squared, plus B squared, which is 14 squared, minus 2 times my A, which is 9, times my B, which is 14, times the cosine of angle C, which is my 17 degrees. Now from here, I'm just going to kind of keep going until I can come up with an answer, simplifying where I can and using my order of operations. C squared equals, order of operations tells me I need to do exponents first. So I'm going to do my exponents. 9 squared is 81, and 14 squared is 196. I did that in my head, so I'm going to take a second, make sure on my calculator that is what I get. And I'm going to do 14 times 14, and I get 196. Perfect. Okay. And then I'm going to leave the rest right now, which is negative 2 times 9, put parentheses in, times 14 times the cosine of 17. Now, in this next problem, or in the next part, what I'm going to do is do this entire multiplication. I'm going to do negative 2 times 9 times 14 times the cosine of 17. Since I'm carrying the negative sign with me, or this minus sign with me, whatever I get, if it's a positive answer, it's going to switch to addition. If it's a negative answer, it's going to still be subtraction. So by plugging this in, by doing the multiplication, negative 2 times 9 times 14 times the cosine of 17, I got negative 240.99 if I round it. And so since it was a negative answer, it's going to stay negative, and I can go to the next line, which is C squared equals 81 plus 196 minus 240.99. Now I can do my addition and subtraction here. Still following order of operations. I did exponents, then I did multiplication. Now I'm doing addition, subtraction. And what I get here is 81 plus 196 plus, minus 240.99, and I get 36.01. Square rooting both sides so that I get rid of C squared and I just get left with C. The square root of 36.01 is going to give me 6.0008. And since I have so many decimals there, I'm just going to leave it as 6. And so my answer there would be C equals 6. Hopefully you can see what I was doing here. I'm really addressing the question that this C is really dependent on where your angle is. So if your angle is 17, the side across from it is always your little c, and remember that doing any kind of problem. You can see that even here on this problem in AB, you can see that my C would have been this line AB. It's that side always across from your 95, and you could have used 20 to be your A and 22 to be your B. All right, any more questions throughout the review, let me know. Happy to help.